Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Lots going on. This assassination attempt gets weirder and weirder by the minute. I don't understand it. If you have an understanding of it, we'd love to hear from you. What exactly is happening here? 888-900-3393. Yesterday, I heard the head of the Secret Service, Kimberly Cheatle, talking about, their screw-ups. And she claimed at that time that they didn't position anyone on that roof because it was sloped.
Yeah.
Well, what? Okay, first of all, the roof you did have counter snipers on was sloped at a steeper angle, right? But secondly, let's say you were concerned, I guess, with the safety of your people.
Yeah.
They were going to slip off the roof because it had a slope to it.
Safety factor, she called it.
And that's why you stationed everybody inside the building. Then it turns out it wasn't that building, it was some other building. But does it really take a brain surgeon or a rocket scientist to believe that it might be prudent to station somebody at the ladder that leads to the roof? Maybe you put somebody out there and watch? Jeez.
It's unreal.
It is. None of it makes any sense if you're really trying to keep this candidate safe. The candidate, and let's not forget the thousands of people who attended his rally where people actually did die and get critically hurt.
So many questions.
Way too many. It shouldn't be like this.
Nope. It's to the point where it's so impossible a thought to think that security was this incompetent.
Yeah. And you don't want to think it is that incompetent, but that's the better of the options.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that's your best
far.
case scenario.
Your best case scenario is that these people just are not capable of doing the jobs they have. And I'm talking about the leadership. I'm not talking about the rank and file, the people who you actually killed the guy that you stationed, maybe even further than we thought to shoot the would-be assassin. Because there's reports on that now, too. That
you really need to get over to theblaze.com this morning and read Steve Baker's article that covers what went down there.
Wow.
That guy on the roof that we think was the individual that took out the shooter from 130 yards out. No. Steve Baker's got some really good reporting that says the kill... a shot was taken from 448 yards out. Let's say that. There was a shot taken from 448 yards.
3 times as far.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Great report, and it goes through the incompetence of Kim Cheatle, the director of the Secret Service, and to that guy on the roof that you see. It's just it. Anyhow, he's got some good sources quoted as saying that type of weapon they use there is indicating that's either the B or C team covering for Donald Trump.
Wow.
So, I mean, you got to get to theblaze.com and read Steve Baker's article. It is just chock full of just shocking stuff.
And is it a week from tomorrow he's on with us?
He's on.
We're going to talk about this whole potential conspiracy.
Imagine the... amount of information we'll have at that point.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, you talk about it's impossible to believe this government about anything.
Yeah, it is.
And if you recall, on Sunday morning, I posted a poll. 39% thought it was an inside job. Posted it again
Already.
2 days later, 54%. I posted it this morning. We're up around 70%.
Wow. Jeez. And they keep, discovering new things about what happened before the rally.
Oh, my gosh.
With the would-be assassin.
That's the thing.
Apparently, he brought a laser rangefinder to the rally 3 hours prior.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yep, and they knew.
And they knew. They knew that the guy had a laser rangefinder on him with Donald Trump prepared to speak in 3 hours, and they don't do anything with him.
They knew of the threat on the building before Trump got to the stage.
About the only thing this 20-year-old didn't do was dig a grave next to the stage and put a headstone on it that said, soon to be the gravesite of Donald J. Trump after I shoot him in the head from that rooftop over there with an arrow pointing to the roof. Even if that had been the case, Kim Cheatle would have been saying, "Oh, don't read too much into that." The building he pointed to on the headstone, that was sloped. No way he could shoot from that one. He'd slip right off it. I mean, it's ludicrous. How stupid do they think we are, by the way? Really stupid, I guess. And some of us are. But I think the vast majority of people can see through this smoke screen that they're trying to put up.
Yeah. I mean, you had a concerned agent take a picture of the shooter and pass it up the chain.
And it was a Secret Service agent or a cop?
It was a sniper.
Cop.
What was it? Was it a police sniper? I think it was a police sniper that took a picture and was like, "Hey, how far out ahead was that picture taken?" That I can't remember. Oh, by the way, look at that picture there. Thanks for putting that up, Joe. There's a random picture of him walking around there more than an hour before. Here's the timeline. Okay, 5:10, Crooks was first identified as a person of interest. 5:30, Crooks was spotted with a rangefinder. 5:52, Crooks was spotted on the roof by Secret Service. 6:02, Trump takes a stage. 6:12, Crooks fires the first shots. What is happening?
Incredible. It's incredible. It really is.
It just takes one person on the inside
to do the right thing, the smart thing,
or the wrong thing,
the prudent thing. Well, one person could have stopped this.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
on any number of occasions.
That's true.
Just take it seriously. I don't know, a guy walking around with an AR-15 before a Trump rally, you might think, that doesn't look right. I wonder if I should go over and confront the guy.
Nah. It's probably nothing. It's probably nothing. And there's so much more just beyond just that day. There's what appears to be a lot of reports of the shorting of the Trump stock. Millions involved there.
Really?
Who's behind that?
Good
it is truly disturbing, all of the facts that are coming out around this right now as we try to figure out what the hell happened.
We've got some isolated audio from after the shooting.
Or no, this is
the video.
This is from the actual event. Go ahead and play it. Let's go.
Yeah.
If you can hear more clearly the Secret Service agents, it's just kind of cool.
Move it to there. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Move. Go.
They didn't move.
Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Move it to the stand. Derek, get ready. Derek, get ready. You ready? We're good. Shooters down. We're good to move. Good to move. We're clear. We're clear.
Oh, gosh. I hear the families in the back.
I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes, sir. Hold on, you're ready, buddy. So we gotta move to the bus.
He says they hit him so hard his shoes came off.
I know.
Which is weird, too. That's also strange, but... and then he gets up, does the fist pump, and he's ready to go.
That's a lot of chaos there.
We also have the video of him arriving at the hospital.
Yeah, whoever's recording this, shame on you. I don't know if Secret Service came up to this person later or what, but you'll see the video cuts off at a very important climax.
Who is that? Oh, sorry.
Oh, that chick's still having trouble holstering her weapon, I see.
Yeah. She's been trying to holster that thing for about 15 minutes at this point.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, we're front row, and my friend saw blood coming out of his head.
There he is.
Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is.
Okay, look, we're about to get to see him. Here we go. Coming around the corner.
He's walking. He's walking.
Wait, what? And then it just cuts off. Everybody's like, what?
So they thought he'd been shot in the head, and he was going to arrive in really bad shape, and fortunately, he was able to walk in, and that gave them some hope. Here's Secret Service Director Kim Cheatle asked about the Iranian threat.
So think about this. When you're watching this, the Secret Service is saying that they knew about a specific threat to Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Now think of all the incompetence we just discussed happening around the fairground. If you have
you have a threat. You have a legitimate threat.
You have compounded,
and you got a guy walking around with a rifle.
You have compounded your idiocy on that day. If you are admitting to saying, yeah, and we beefed up security, and look, she is so bad.
Was every element, every part of his, from the intelligence to the counter assault team, to the detail agents, to the shift agents, I mean every element, top to bottom, of the advance in the operation, was every element increased after you learned of this credible threat?
What we increased was what we felt was appropriate for the
answer is
former president and for that particular event on that day. We have been increasing the assets and the resources and the staffing that we have been providing to the former president since he was a presidential candidate and then the presumptive nominee. That's what I can tell you.
That sounds like a no.
It sure
I'm
does.
not saying a no at all. I'm saying that we have continued to increase the resources that
you're
we've been
saying
providing.
no, they didn't do everything they could.
Wow.
Nope, they didn't. Not top to bottom. That's a pretty clear, solid no. No, we didn't.
By the way, when they kicked over his body there on the roof, he also had the detonator thing for a diversion on him as well.
Yeah, he had a radio-activated explosive in his car, and they don't know if he tried to activate it or not. It didn't work. Who knows? But he definitely had explosives in his car. So
maybe stop and talk to the guy.
Yeah, you might want
when
to.
you see him walking around like that, like we just saw.
I mean, I believe in constitutional carry as much as the next guy, but when you've got the former president of the United States trying to be the future president of the United States about to speak, and you've got a guy with an AR-15 wandering around, you've got to at least inquire, don't you? Excuse me, what are you doing with the AR-15 in your hand?
I can't get over this.
And again, there was a threat from Iran, supposedly. They're making threats against Trump. And you don't even look into the possibility that, hey, maybe that is connected. But they avoided questions. She and the Secret Service are avoiding questions from the public.
It's about 4 minutes long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But you can stop at any time, of course.
So this is the floor last night. This is where Tom Barrasso goes up to her from Wyoming. Is this right? Marsha Blackburn's there.
We've run out of questions that hadn't. Every one of us had questions that we wanted to ask. We felt we didn't get any of the responses that were necessary from you. Very disappointed.
She's just nodding.
I have called for your resignation, and I'd rather you resign tonight or start answering our questions right now.
That's tough to hear.
Allowing him to go on stage
I haven't heard this
in
yet.
Pennsylvania at a time when you'd already been alerted that there was somebody, witness spotter, all these situations already identified an hour before, and you let him go on stage.
Right.
Yeah. He's just expressing our frustration.
He's kind of dressing her down for this. Yep. Explaining some of the incompetence that they already knew about there.
How is she still employed? I don't know.
She's got nothing to say. I mean, she doesn't care. Wow.
And don't forget that
wow.
Crooks's parents reported him missing that morning. Maybe you combine some elements here and be like, wait a minute. And they were worried. Now, I don't know if they reported the gun missing. That's where I'm
So far, confused. They haven't said if the gun was missing, like when they call 911.
Surely because I know that the dad realized that morning that his gun was missing, but I don't know if he realized before that phone call to authorities.
Exactly.
So his parents contacted authorities before the rally.
I see that.
Yeah.
Thomas
here we
Crooks.
go. All right, she's got the same clip here. Okay.
We're looking for him in the hours leading up to the shooting. We're now told they eventually called law enforcement to report that Crooks was missing, and they were worried. And they also were told, those parents, are now being cooperative now with authorities, but they gave them the heads up that something's going on with our son. We are worried. We don't know the texture or the details of their concerns. So in other words, well, were they worried that he had a gun? Were they worried? What were they worried about? Were they worried that he was going to try to attempt to kill a sitting president and then go ahead and turn into an assassin and kill another person and injure 2 others? It was an attempted assassination on Trump, but he managed to murder anyway. Are we talking about that? What were they giving the cops a heads up about? This is the first time we are hearing this. We'll stay on the story, and we will bring you the details, updates as we get them. Crook.
How do you explain any of this? It's inexplicable. How do you not connect any of these dots? So they had reason to suspect the guy, and he's wandering around before the rally with a rifle. And you still don't do anything about it.
Bro.
Wow.
It's
unbelievable.
Well, maybe their budget isn't big enough. What is it? $3.2 billion?
Sounds right.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
yeah, they identified him as a threat before Trump walked on stage.
Donald Trump took the stage. For more, we want to go to Aisha because there was a briefing today. You got some information about what happened, Aisha?
Dana, good afternoon to you. We just got a big information dump, and some of it is deeply, deeply troubling. So I'm going to hold your hand and walk you through this. Just bear with me here. A lot of notes that I'm going to look at here. Just about a couple minutes ago, these senators came out of this briefing with Secret Service. They've been asking for it for days now. Finally got it with the director and Secret Service staff. And the top headline that has come out of it, according to Senator John Barrasso, just spoke to him as soon as he hung up on this briefing. He said that apparently the Secret Service had identified as a character of suspicion this man, this shooter, because they saw a rangefinder on him as well as a backpack. And this all happened more than an hour before the shooting actually occurred. So they saw the guy and they identified this guy as suspicious. Now, more details coming from a source familiar here who was also in the meeting tells me that about 10 minutes before former President Trump went onto the stage, they had gone from looking at this guy as suspicious to now looking at him as a threat. That is coming from this briefing that the senators were in. They were told that Secret Service had called it in to a center
but you don't
that
be
this
hasty,
guy they now
Let's not be
identified as a threat.
Yeah, we
about
did identify
10
him as a
minutes
threat,
before
but
President Trump walked on stage.
we don't want to get carried away.
They still
actually
allowed
talk to him
to walk onto that stage. I'm told the Secret Service agent in charge there was on the phone with local and state police about the threat while the shooting was taking place. That's huge, and that is raising a
And there's the actual video of the guy crawling up the roof, doing the bear crawl that the first guy talked about.
And he visited the site beforehand.
A couple of days before, yeah.
Right.
Just
wow. Jeez.
I don't know. But don't worry, the FBI's on the case. So we're going to get to the bottom of this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The FBI, I mean, look at, they've been on the Las Vegas shooting for just 7 years now. And they're all over that.
What did they conclude on the pipe bombs on January 6th outside?
Well, they're working on it.
Okay.
I mean, give them a minute, would you?
I apologize. Yeah.
So that's only been 3 years. What do you want?
Dude.
3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Calm down, everybody.
But the only thing that came out of the shooter's phone, and Joe, you have a tweet, I believe it's F6. Director Ray says there's no foreign nexus, but the shooter used encrypted comms and has little social media presence.
Yeah,
okay.
He did post something weird the day of the rally, though, right? Or before. It was something about he's going to be making his debut that day or something. Weird. Okay, we got a lot more to get into, and we'll unravel it with you. 888-900-3393. You know, finding a really great realtor when you're selling your house, it is critical. And I'm more convinced of that than ever because we just went through it and had a great realtor, and it made all the difference in the world. It can for you as well. Go to realestateagentsitrust.com. Find a great agent. Glenn put this team together so that you wouldn't have to go through the things he experienced 10 or 12 years ago in Connecticut and had a really bad experience trying to sell a home. You don't want that. It is a huge investment. You want it to go well. You want great advice. You don't want to overspend when you're trying to get your house ready for the sale. You need somebody to help you figure out what you're going to get your money back for and what you won't. And that's where Real Estate Agents I Trust come in. Just great realtors, great agents. They're fans of the show. You're going to have a lot in common with them. Make it much less awkward driving around town looking for homes. So whether you're buying or selling or you're doing both because you're relocating, it's realestateagentsitrust.com.
Beware, Pat Gray is unleashed.
So I understand that the shooter also had a conversation with a friend. This is back in 2016. So he would have been 12, I guess, at the time. But he mocked one of his friends because his friend supported Donald Trump. Have you seen that story? So he has, I guess, in the past expressed a dislike. But he's 12 years old at that time. I don't know what happened to him since, but
why did he register as a Republican?
Why did he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did a live stream yesterday, and I had people from Pennsylvania informing me that there's no, because I suggested maybe, Rush Limbaugh came up with Operation Chaos. Maybe it was his way to influence the Republican primary or something like that. Mm-hmm. But no, you can't. It's closed primary in Pennsylvania, according to people that I was talking to yesterday. And so if he's making a political donation. He must have been inspired by Joe Biden being inaugurated on January 20th, 2021. Mm-hmm. And then he registers as a Republican. So he wouldn't have turned 21. His birthday, as I was informed, was September of 2003. So he's not turning 21, right, until
September.
You do the math, till September.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, 18. He would have turned in 2021, right? He would turn 18 years old of voting age in 2021.
Uh-huh.
The same year,
it was post
6 months after
presidential election.
Right. So he's donating money to the Democrat president or the Democrats, and then 6 months later he's registering as a Republican. I don't understand that.
Yeah, weird.
There's something there that's bugging me that I think we're going to have to get to
one
the
of the
bottom
many, many bizarre questions that have been unanswered. I'd like to hear from his parents, but they were waiting to talk to authorities. I'm sure that's happened by now.
Who knows? With this government, who knows, man? I know
who knows?
They actually did let agents in the other day. I saw that.
Yeah, they weren't resisting. I don't think.
No,
giving him any information. And then there's did he have yard signs? Did they not have yard signs? I've seen both ways on that. Nope, they had no yard signs. Yes, they had yard signs. Okay. Back in 2016, they had yard signs. For Trump, supposedly. In 2016, anyway. I don't know about this time. The person who distributes yard signs in the neighborhood
oh no
had not distributed any to them.
So that person came forward.
Yes.
We got information on the yard sign distributor of the town.
Yes, we did. We did. And I guess she's official. If you don't get them from her, you don't have them. She said, you can ask anybody around here. They'll tell you, no yard signs this time. And really, what is that? That doesn't even tell you anything. That tells you proclivity of who the parents are going to vote for. It doesn't tell you anything about him.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's bizarre. Apparently, he was a really smart guy, too. He was really good at math. He got, I think, an associate's degree in engineering science. It's not like he's some dummy.
Yeah.
But he does fit the profile of he's had no friends or very few.
Picked on quite a bit.
Picked on, bullied. Yeah. So who knows what was going through his head? There's no screed. There's no manifesto. There's no suicide note. They don't have any idea why he did what he did, so far at least. We may never find out. Might be just like the Las Vegas shooting. Who knows? We might wonder this forever. Unless somebody in the Secret Service, shed some light on, I don't know, some of their plans or not. Who knows?
I think it's much more difficult for sinister forces to keep secrets. In other words, what happened in 1963, I don't think it's going to take nearly that long to get to the bottom of this.
Well, in the age of information in which we exist, it can't, right?
Yep.
You can't keep that kind of stuff secret.
That, and we rightfully don't trust anything that our government says anymore.
With good reason. And I hate that. I hate that we don't, that we can't trust the things that they say. But they've proven to be so untrustworthy over and over and over again that we're left with no choice, really. You've got to question everything. It's really too bad. I'd love to be able to say, yep, they just screwed up this time. Well, come on. And this one is piled up so badly that it gets impossible to believe that they're this incompetent. I mean, a laser rangefinder on him. You knew that. You saw that. And you did nothing about it. Huh.
I mean, you should have someone with eyes on him.
Yeah, the whole time.
Constantly.
Yep.
After that encounter.
And you should know the second he touches the ladder to go up on the roof. God,
shadow him.
Wow. Because he's not getting in with the rifle. He's not getting into the rally itself. So you got to watch the perimeter. And they don't.
And that's the picture that we've been talking about, how the police officer, law enforcement took that picture, and then that's the rangefinder right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's good. Jeez.
Like, we had that picture.
No, that's the...
the transmitter.
That's the transmitter to set off the explosive.
Oh, yeah, that's sorry. Okay.
But that picture was immediately on social media when they were trying to figure out who the shooter was. Mm-hmm. So that picture made it to social media.
Wow.
Even before it was confirmed that guy was the shooter, because I saw it and I was like, ooh, I'm not going to send it in because it's not confirmed.
We didn't know if it was...
We didn't know if it was him or not.
And it turns out it was him.
It was him.
Yeah.
It was on social media.
Amazing. The work that the Secret Service should have been doing was being done by...
Social media.
Social media.
Yep.
Somebody inside. Well.
Yep.
Whatever.
Well, whatever.
There it is.
What? Anyway.
This man,
we've said too much.
Donald Trump needs only people that he knows very well around him for the rest of his life.
I would think that he'd be really cognizant of that right now. You would think. I mean, I heard Eric Trump yesterday talking about this, and he's really fired up about it, as he should be. His dad was almost killed on national television at a rally attended by thousands, and the Secret Service, and local police, and it still happened. So, yeah, something is definitely wrong and needs to be rectified.
And many red flags. Many from the beginning. Literally from days before the rally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's nothing but red flags. A 4-year-old could have figured this thing out before it happened and stopped it.
Yes.
If the 4-year-old had this information, they could have stopped this. Secret Service, not so much. Not so much.
DEI.
Yeah.
You guys have experienced that here. How much do I suck running the board?
Thank you. Yeah, exactly right.
Your word's
Good
not
point.
ours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know I'm a DEI hire, but hey, I'm hired.
But you're here.
Why did we have to absorb it? Like, why didn't the other shows have to? How did they pick us?
This is my fourth show, so that should say something. Fourth show in 7 years.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything. But
I'll say it for you.
All right,
I'll say it for you.
Thank you.
We call this show the misfit pile.
Uh-huh.
That's what we are in here. The misfit pile.
888-933-93 with your thoughts on all this madness. More coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Some tweets here. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap fakes. Tweets. Dirty deeds and the done dirt cheap fakes. If you were going to let a crazed individual attempt to assassinate Trump, what would you do differently? Nothing. Giblets tweets, normally when someone points a weapon at an officer, the officer will neutralize the threat, not take a picture of the individual.
Okay.
I find that odd.
Two different encounters. The first guy took his picture. The guy who had the gun in his face was later, after an hour plus passes of them not neutralizing this guy who's suspicious and walking around. There's a different cop later, the latter.
Fury and Energy tweets, what a shocker. Nothing we're being told about an extremely significant event is true. Funny Bunny, is this not the same group of people that came up with, if you see something, say something?
Yep.
Yeah. Rock and Roll G-Mom, Kim Cheatle and the bumbling female Keystone Cops just set the women's movement back 100 years. And Frank Johnson's alter ego. Another, the FBI had them on the radar.
Every time.
Again.
Every time.
Literally every time. That's not even an exaggeration because we hear it every single time. Having somebody on the radar is absolutely meaningless. Doesn't mean a single thing.
Safest place to be.
It sure is. Man. All right, here's the latest on Joe Biden, who wants us to watch him and just see how spry he is, how agile he is, how brilliant and fast and quick-witted he is. It's incredible, really. It's incredible. Haven't you been impressed since the debate? I mean, it was a one-time thing. Leave him alone, okay? Guy was tired.
Jet lag. Stuttering problem.
Lifelong stuttering problem.
Yeah.
Sun was in his eyes.
Trump was too loud.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't stop yelling in his ear. Came right over to him, started yelling in his ear.
He was too prepared.
Whole time.
Too prepared.
Too prepared.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
Jim Clyburn?
Too prepared.
Oh, man.
Remember how you stumble and stagger around when you're too prepared? Or maybe you've never been too prepared. Maybe that's the problem. But this guy is so spectacular that he can get too prepared for an event. So, anyway, I've said too much.
He's ruined that word.
He sure has.
I can't even say it anymore.
I know.
That a-hole.
And it's like the is there a number people can call, Ivan? Is there a number?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's right there in front of you. Oh, I'm so sorry. So here are the conditions on which Biden would drop out.
Is there anything that you would look to, you personally, not anybody else, not other pundits, not even perhaps family members, that you would look to say, if I see that, I will reevaluate?
If I had some medical condition that emerged, if the doctors came to me and said, you got this problem, that problem.
Oh, that'll never happen.
I made a serious mistake in the
by
whole
over-preparing.
And
tired.
And
jet
look,
lag.
when I originally ran, you may remember it, I said I was going to be a transitional candidate.
Yeah.
And I thought that I'd be able to move from this, just pass it on to someone else. But I didn't anticipate things getting so divided. And quite frankly, I think
done it. What do you mean?
Age brings a little bit of wisdom, and I think I've demonstrated that I know how to get things done for the country.
Well, bad things.
In spite of the fact that we told we couldn't get it done. But there's more to do, and I'm reluctant to walk away from that.
More to do.
Man, he thinks a lot of himself, doesn't he?
He loves some Joe.
Oh, my gosh.
Joe loves Joe.
Wow, he thinks he does think he's the greatest president ever. And he's basically said that multiple times, especially lately. Nobody's done more than me. Who's done? Name the person. Name it. He gets all pissed off at people, too. Name the person that's ever done more than me. Name them. Name one. I could name all of them.
Well, I mean,
45 previous.
We're talking about
all of them.
Destroying the country. Yeah, you.
Well,
you're
at the
win,
top
Joe.
of that list, yeah. Yeah. So he went to a Mexican restaurant?
So this is an hour before he tests positive for COVID.
Oh,
just
good.
getting in people's faces.
By the way, that's a medical condition. Anybody let him know that?
Yeah. I mean, I tweeted last night. Here's your out, Democrats.
Yep.
You got your medical condition. He'll never come back from COVID. Look at him shaking hands.
Look at shaking hands.
What a super spreader.
Getting in people's faces.
No.
Look at that.
And when he walks in, he does the French kiss where someone kisses on both sides.
Okay, careful.
As soon as he walks in.
All right, see, in America...
Let us help you with English a little bit. French kiss means something different, but...
more of an Italian kiss, I think you're going for.
European, maybe, I don't know. The French style of, two-cheek kiss.
Chris isn't
I don't
from
know.
here.
No, he's not from here. Just arrived on our shores, 20-some years ago.
Sure.
So, yeah, so he goes out there. I guess he apparently made out with people, according to Chris.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely a good day for Joe. What's the next one here? I love this.
This is awesome.
Is this the Air Force One from yesterday?
I thought of you when I saw it.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yes.
Watch him. Watch him.
They call these stairs Mount Everest.
Ooh.
Easy.
Ooh.
That was close. That agent was about ready to catch him.
Look at him.
Oh, no.
He barely negotiates those stairs. Barely.
It's just...
And he's on the short stair. Again. So, watch him. He's agile, spry, filled with vim and vigor. But he just, look at this. He is so unsteady.
Now, I want you to imagine. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Let's go to Joe Biden's world of make-believe with Mr. Rogers. Ding, ding, ding. We're 4.5 years in the future. He's still president. I want you to think of him trying to get onto any kind of transportation.
Oh, they're going to put that lift, that little stair
They're not going to
thingy,
need it.
and he's just going to go up.
Mm-hmm. Hi, neighbor. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Beautiful day for a Biden. Could you be my president?
Oh, no.
Sure. I hope not.
No.
Man. That's amazing to watch. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And again, yeah. Can you imagine 2025, 26, 2027, and he's trying to negotiate stairs or walk anywhere. He's on a walker by then or a wheelchair.
January 20th, 2029?
Yeah, no.
Okay, bro.
Sorry. At 86, 87?
112.
Shoo, man. Unbelievable.
Sometimes you feel a little sympathy for Van Jones because he's a realist.
Mm-hmm.
And this clip here is part of the fun of seeing him sulk.
Right.
A bullet couldn't stop Trump. A virus just stopped Biden. You've got the nominees of this party getting their butts kissed. Biden's getting his butt kicked by his own party. The Democrats are coming apart. The Republicans are coming together.
Look at that. Well said.
There's plenty of room for you, Van, in our big tent, our big Republican tent. Come on over.
Okay.
Actually, I don't want him in our
No,
tent.
you don't want this one? No, okay.
I really don't.
I will say that we play a lot of clips on this show. We've been at this program in September, it'll have been 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we played a lot of clips of liberals that are completely not self-aware, make the most ridiculous things. This next clip that you're about to hear from Joy Reid, it may be the most absurd clip we have ever played from a lefty.
Wow. All right.
Here's the question that I have on that. These two men are both elderly. Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day. But his survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength. This current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days? Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing? that he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do rallies, isn't that exactly the same?
No.
I mean, it's not exactly the same. It's not the same incident, but it's an elderly man coming through out of an illness.
It should.
Preposterous.
You can see Saki's face. She's trying to hold her laugh.
Jin Saki, yeah.
Yes. She's
Yeah.
trying to be like, are you serious?
She
you
can't believe they
idiot?"
cut to her.
Yes.
They're like, don't cut to me. I'm laughing at this garbage. And that whole clip, play this again, because look at this entire clip. Play it, because she's making her.
Question that I have on
watch
that.
this. She's
These two men are
making
both
this
elderly.
point that she thinks
Donald
is
Trump
so
is an elderly
profound,
man
and they're
who,
showing some of the most
for whatever
feeble
reason, was
moments
given
of
9
this
seconds
man.
to take a iconic photo op during an active shooting.
By the way, pause
situation.
it. Listen to this.
Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day.
Pause that.
But
The left, man. The left thinks that this was staged. They, as much as the right is saying we think this might have been an inside job, the left is saying, yeah, it might have been an inside job from the Trump people trying to get sympathy from voters. Are you kidding me? Are you going to stand there and think, just nick my ear, kid?
And take a bullet? Yeah, we talked about that day one.
Right.
There is no possible way.
That's what she's hinting at there at the beginning. We'll find out about that some other day. And then as she's trying to make the point of how strong and spry Joe Biden is,
survival of
they
that
show
and
him wobbling
bouncing
up
right
the
back and going right to his
stairs
convention
that we
is being
just
conveyed in the
mocked.
media
And they
world
realized
as
how
kind of
bad it looked, so they cut off the B-roll early. Watch this. Oh, he stalls out.
And has
Oh,
COVID.
whoa, we'll cut back.
Should he be fined?
Let's not
in
follow
This is
all the
when
way.
Saki starts to
Doesn't
laugh.
that convey exactly the same thing? That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be
forced her into a
fatal
nod
to people his age.
And okay,
so if he does fine,
I thought the vaccine was supposed to prevent you from even getting it.
Vax and boosted, baby.
Secondly, you talk all the time about, okay, well, it doesn't stop you from getting it, but it stops the severity. So you got that. Also, it is mutated to the point where it is not as viral as deadly as it once was. It's just a common cold kind of disease now, and so there's so many factors involved. It's not that Joe Biden would be so strong if he withstood COVID-19 in 2024. This is COVID-24, by the way, not COVID-19 anymore. It hasn't been for years. And most people who get it don't even get tested for it anymore.
Who's doing that anymore? Come on.
Man. She's not making sense on any level. Before the positive COVID test, Biden was making the rounds, doing interviews and speeches. Here he is saying he'll restore Roe v. Wade.
You've said that you will restore it. How can you be assured that you'll be able to do that?
The Supreme Court did it. Trump appointed the Supreme Court with the express purpose of doing it. So that's the way it
They're
works.
still going to have the majority, no matter if you win or lose.
Well, there's going to probably be 2 more appointments to the court. There's probably 2 people going to resign.
What? Who? Who's going to resign? That's new information there.
What does he know that we don't know?
Yeah, I don't know. Are they both conservatives? Who are you saying is going to resign? I haven't heard that talk. In Nevada, he toured a grocery store.
Look at his face. Close your freaking mouth, bro.
It's painful to watch him.
It sure is. Painful to watch him walk. Painful to watch him talk.
Painful to listen to him.
Watch him think.
Painful to experience his policies. It's painful in every conceivable way.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. And then, you feel it coming on, don't you? He spotted a little girl. Uh-oh. Oh, boy.
How do they?
Get away from him. Get away from him, little girl. Run. Run for your life.
How are you? Great to see you. You checked me out the other day. Recently here? Didn't you check me out?
He's got COVID. Let's not forget. He's got COVID. Was this yesterday?
Yep. No, 2 days ago.
He's right in her face. And he probably has COVID.
3. She looks like she's 7 or 8.
All right, back off, old man. We know about you, creep.
She's still not dating age, Joe. Forget it, okay? Beat it!
Okay.
Sick freak. Ugh. Jeez. Oh, boy. Okay. Yeah, it's great.
Okay, you got to see this next clip. Just try to, you can hear the wheels turning in Joe's head while the manager is talking.
Triple what we had over there.
Look at him, he's just confused. Now, granted, I'm going to cut him some slack here because the manager's boring as hell. But look at his face.
For a store where they can get stuff they can get in any other part of town. That they
Close your mouth.
In this side of town.
Close your mouth, sir.
Different types of cheeses that we never carry.
Look, he's like, do you know who this is? Who's this guy talking? What are we doing here? Who am I? Why am I here?
Why am I not wearing any pants?
He has no idea where he is. He has no idea where he is.
Then he told a series of lies. This is always fun.
Well, how long?
Explain to people why this election is different.
Okay.
Well, look, one of the things that occurred.
Oh, COVID
when
right there.
I won,
COVID cough.
You may remember. I said I was running for 3 reasons. It was after my son was killed or died because of Iraq. And I didn't want to get involved.
Jeez.
And then I was watching television. And I was a professor at Penn watching television.
Okay, two. Lie number 2.
And you saw those folks come out of the fields in Charlottesville carrying torches, accompanied by the Ku Klux Klan, carrying Nazi swastikas. And a young woman, a bystander, was killed. And he was asked, well, tell me about what happened here, Mr. President. There were good people on both sides. That's when I decided I had to run. That's why I ran.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh, well, I can't.
We're so happy that
the trifecta right there. He said all the lies in one.
Wait,
Back
I
to
didn't
back.
hear this one about Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Okay.
And so it's all about treating people with dignity. And it's about making sure that, look, I mean, for example, look at the heat I'm getting because I named the Secretary of Defense, a black man. I named Ketanji Brown. I mean, because of the people I've named.
What? Well, he did name a Secretary of Defense.
Yeah.
Ketanji Brown, a black man.
No. No, that's not what he was saying.
Can't give you that one.
No.
Play the last 15 seconds, though. He is all screwed up.
He's talking about Lloyd Austin. He can't remember his name.
No, he can't.
But he was
dignity.
right.
And it's about making sure that, look, I mean, for example, look at the heat I'm getting because I named the Secretary of Defense, a black man.
Lloyd Austin
I
is
named
his name.
Ketanji Brown. I mean,
Ketanji Brown.
Supreme Court. He can't remember.
He can't remember anybody's name.
Okay.
Or
position.
what position they have, or who they are, or where he is.
I know he sucks.
Yeah.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393, Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where we got some tweets to share. Just to muck and fudge. If only we had a way to coordinate and share intelligence among government agencies. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be,
you actually did the sniff.
I actually did.
Just read what she wrote.
Right. Yeah. Thought it might be more effective. But it's too bad we don't have modern technology like that where you can share information quickly.
I don't even know where you'd begin to do
I don't either. I mean, I guess you could get on a pony and start riding across the range and try to find an outpost with the cavalry. I don't know. I don't know what you would do. You send up a smoke signal, but do you have anybody who understands smoke signals anymore? I don't know. I don't know. These are
a bunch of complicating factors.
a lot of problems. T-Man tweets, you would think the Secret Service would put up trail cams days before each rally to see if anyone's casing the place. I'm not even a security professional. Maybe I should be. Maybe. Roy Mazega, I've seen Walmart security following suspicious-looking people around the store with more intent than the Secret Service did with the shooter. Right. This was intentional. A lot of people are coming to that conclusion. Don't want to, but
here we are.
I'm trying to resist that. It gets harder every day. Seriously, every new piece of information that trickles in, you're like, wait, what? No, that can't be. That can't be. Somebody made that up, and then it turns out to be true, and you're like, wow, okay, that's oof. It's another nail in the "this was all done accidentally" coffin.
Yeah. It's just, when do you want to finally get to that conclusion? Today?
Yeah. I don't want to.
Now?
I don't want to.
20 years from now, you'll get there.
Unrepentant thought criminal. Amazing how Kimberly Cheatle's security detail in Milwaukee is better than Trump's security detail in Butler, Pennsylvania. Ozark Janae. The phone call his parents made to police. Why does a parent worry about a 20-year-old being missing when they saw him that morning? They knew he was going to the shooting range. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Is that, I don't know. Heard that. What now?
Did they know he was going to, or are you calling the rally a shooting range? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dan Judge. My prediction, not long after inauguration, Trump will order the full release of the JFK report after more than 60 years, unredacted. If there's any resistance, he'll tell them he'll hold a press conference and reveal the dirtiest details and tell them, stop me.
Stop me. I love it.
Ellen Newton, how much evidence will have been altered by AI?
That's fair.
Defibrillator. Chris is my DEI spirit animal. That's nice.
Oh, he did go to
You're a spirit animal for her.
Okay, so he did go to the rifle range.
He did go.
The day before. So the day before the shooting. I totally missed that fact until right now. Thank you for that.
I didn't know that either.
So, and let's talk about rifle ranges real quick. If he is so bad just a few years ago that he leaves after day one of being embarrassed at the rifle club, then he's obviously done some learning.
Yeah, he's improved a
before he went to the rally.
Yeah.
So where is this? We got to talk to the people at the rifle range and see, how often was he there practicing? How have you seen him improve over time? Talk to the range marshals. Let's talk to the owners. I want to know how often he was there honing his craft.
Yep.
And then draw your own conclusions from where I'm going from there.
All right.
If he was as terrible as has been reported a few years before, but now he is making that shot.
And it's just in 2 years. Because he was a senior in high school in 2022. He graduated. So it's just 2 years. But you could practice a lot in 2 years and become a lot better.
That's why you go to the rifle range and you find out how often was he practicing.
Yeah,
just
really
curious.
weird. The parents must have thought something was up. They must have been concerned. I wonder if he was saying things, doing things. Who knows? But it's hard to live with somebody who's gone off their noodle and not notice. You know what? They're going off their noodle.
Yeah, and then what do you do?
And what do you do?
How do you reel that in? I think as a parent, it should be easier, maybe not with a 20-year-old, than say if it's your parents, But I mean, they have the ability to reel him in. Am I right? I mean, he lives with them.
Yep.
And they're social workers. So isn't this part of their gigs?
That's their thing, man.
They both are registered social workers with the state of Pennsylvania.
Jeez.
So you would think they will have all the ability to talk him down or talk to him.
So this kid worked at a nursing home.
You would think
right?
that.
I think he worked at a nursing home, which wonder how the people there are feeling, knowing this is the guy who was caring for us.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
The guy who changed my catheter did what?
All right. Back to Joe and whether or not he's going to stay in this race, whether or not he'll be the one debating Donald Trump in September. Is he going to continue to be on the party's ticket? Apparently, he's been privately encouraged to drop out of the race.
Encouraged.
From Democratic leaders for Biden to get out of the race is intensifying. In fact, one person who has been out there publicly defending Biden told me just a short while ago, Biden is going to see the whole house of cards come down soon. As for that meeting in Rehoboth, Delaware, I am told that this was a one-on-one meeting, just the Senate leader and the president, and that Chuck Schumer forcefully made the case that it would be better for Biden, better for the Democratic Party, and better for the country if he were to bow out of the race. And David, when I went to Schumer's office to ask them to tell them I was going to report this and tell you this tonight, absolutely no denial from Senator Schumer's office. They only said this: Leader Schumer conveyed the views of his caucus. In other words, the views of Democratic senators. I am also told that Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader in the House, has expressed similar views directly to the president.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the Schumer report was that he forcefully told Joe,
get out. And Pelosi was fairly obvious as well, it sounds like.
Adam
Schiff. So, Adam Schiff. Again, the only one lacking, Barack Obama, publicly. And the only one publicly lacking.
Well, yeah.
That could put an end to this, I think.
James Clyburn and Barack Obama are still in Camp Joe.
Supposedly.
He's done.
I wonder, though. Is he? We'll see. Maybe.
I don't think there's a question,
Maybe.
honestly.
I mean, this guy is such an egomaniac, though. He thinks he's the greatest president of all time. He literally thinks he's the best president the United States of America has ever had. When he is the exact opposite of that.
But I think the stage that we're in now is they're giving him the talking points to kind of lay the groundwork.
Yeah.
Pave the road. All right, Joe, here's what you say. You say, hey, this is the circumstance where I would get out. And then we get a diagnosis in a few weeks of something. I told y'all I'd get out if I had a health diagnosis.
And I did.
Here we go, I guess.
I do. I have COVID, and that kind of led to this other ailment that I have now.
And if he pushes
called
back,
dementia.
They've got so much dirt on this old man. They're like, we're just gonna step aside and let your whole family be ruined by investigation after investigation, and we're gonna actually join the Republicans in that. And
that'd be pretty compelling.
That's the only language you understand.
Yeah, it'd be pretty compelling.
If he's not careful, that House of Cards analogy is going to be a little bit more real.
And he doesn't want that. He doesn't want the axe to fall on Hunter, or himself for that matter, or his brother, and the entire corrupt family.
Yep.
In the family business. And, once that happens and they really start looking into this guy and find out the corruption. Do you remember, was it Peter Schweitzer who 10 or 12 years ago, I think it was 2014, wrote that he was the most corrupt politician in American history?
Oh, wow.
This was when he was vice president. And I thought, wow, that's a pretty strong statement. But if you look at what's transpired since, it's believable. It really is believable. All right. Here's a shot of Joe Biden.
Jeffy just sent this to us. I hadn't seen
how good
this.
everything is with him. He's
when
doing well.
he got down there,
getting into
pull
a
the
car.
audio. Pull the audio. Okay, watch this. Just look. He's in through the. He can't get in. He can't get in. He can't get into the vehicle. He can't pull himself up. Oh my gosh!
This.
Somebody help that man.
Where's the Secret Service guy?
Behind him. He's now the Secret Service guy is like pushing him, giving him a little shove. Oh my gosh! I mean, never mind being president.
Wow.
The guy can barely move. What are we doing? I mean, that took it all out of him right there. Just getting into the car.
Yeah, it did. It did.
And I'm not being facetious. He's just like, oh my gosh, that sucked.
Start at the beginning, because people might have been looking for him on this side of the car. Look at, he's on the other side of the car.
He approaches it.
And
trying to pull himself in, right?
Trying to pull in.
The
and he
bar.
can't. He just can't do it. Now, yes, he has COVID, but come on. I'm sure that'll be the excuse. Well, the president's
Is there
been
something else
greatly weakened by COVID right now.
Going on there besides just getting in? There could be some, but I don't know, because then the agent
Are there
comes over
McDonald's
here.
wrappers on the seat? And he's got to move those first. He doesn't want to sit on them.
Oh my gosh. I think the agent's just pushing his foot in. He can't get his own little foot in. Look at this.
Look at him.
I don't know what they're doing over there. I'd love to know. But it's like, let me get...
Would you, though?
Oh, he's tying his shoe.
I'm not sure I want to know.
He's tying his shoe.
One day, when the whole truth comes out about this presidency, and
there's
the
going to
kind
be
of shape he's in,
stories.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine?
There was the one time that there was poop smeared all over the back seat
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, the stories are going to be unbelievable. We'll believe them because we've seen the disintegration of him from the beginning, but a lot of people are going to be really, really surprised.
So if Biden comes out publicly with a health issue, like I fully expect he will, is he going to stay on as president or is he going to step down? Because then people will be like, well, why is he sticking around?
Yeah. Why are you still leading the country?
If you've got dementia,
he won't admit to that.
That's what I'm saying. What is that medical condition going to be?
Maybe Parkinson's. I bet they could come up with that. Early stages of Parkinson's, and it really hasn't fully kicked in, but I got to take some time off now and concentrate on getting better.
And will Americans care that they were lied to by everyone in this administration about this man's health? Like all the visits by the Parkinson's specialist. Oh, no, he was just here checking his
somebody else
lungs and stuff.
And then, and somebody else that had it. Okay.
I swear. So by the convention, he will
be gone.
He will.
You think he'll be gone?
He will
as a candidate.
Yeah, absolutely. As a candidate.
Interesting.
It's going to be an open floor fight. Kamala's not a shoo-in. Watch out for that. Watch out for that Maryland governor, Wes
Big
Moore.
Mike.
No,
Kamala.
No, it's going to be Wes Moore, the Maryland governor, whose background is like this empty shell that no one can fill in the blanks on. That's their puppet.
They like Gretchen Whitmer too.
They do.
She's adequately radical. They think, and a woman, so she's got some of the identity politics they want and love. I don't know. We'll see.
Wes Moore.
We'll see. Somebody else who's in some trouble, Bob Menendez, who was convicted on all charges of his corruption. Is he going to be able to hold on to his Senate seat? He says he's got no plans to resign.
So, but it came out that he was going to resign, that he had told colleagues, right?
Yeah. He tells allies he will resign, but then he said he wouldn't.
This morning, there's a headline here, Senator Bob Menendez refutes reports that he's resigning following guilty verdict. When is his sentencing?
That's a good question.
And when does his when's his term end? And the sentencing date. I wonder if they've even had that yet. Let's see. October 29th.
That's his sentencing?
Yes.
Okay.
Right?
So that's a while.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a few months from now.
Interesting. Well, the Democrat Party will love that. If a sitting U.S. senator, less than a week out from the election,
has to resign,
is in court, getting sentenced for bribery,
and is immediately remanded to custody and goes to jail. Wouldn't that be great? Then he can help legislate from jail. That would be wonderful.
Hey, Trafficant tried that. When does Bob Menendez term end? Do we know that? Because Governor Murphy's got to... it ends. Oh, that's right. He's running as an independent now because even the corrupt Democrat Party turned their back on him.
Right.
So, okay.
Wow.
Interesting.
All right. Let me tell you about the Freedom Chamber. If you have a business, and you probably... I can't even imagine the frustration that you feel every single day with increased regulation, the impact of inflation, and interest rates on your bottom line. But there is a solution that's been built specifically to help you save money and, most importantly, align you with the alliance of like-minded people, like-minded business owners that share your values. You're not going to be aligned with people like Disney, whose only agenda is LGBTQIA2+ stuff. That's all they want to do is push and promote that. If you're not excited about being with that crowd, then please become a member of the Freedom Chamber. You're going to receive exclusive benefits to help your business grow while you're being rooted in the values of faith, family, and freedom. The Freedom Chamber is the pro-American business network. So join other American businesses and across all kinds of commercial sectors. The Freedom Chamber's mission is to promote our values while fostering the growth, sustainability, and success of member companies. Freedom Chamber is a dynamic, innovative organization with comprehensive support, really great resources, and exclusive networking opportunities. So join today at freedomchamber.net. You're going to be glad you did. freedomchamber.net. Join today.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us. 888-900-3393. Thank you, by the way, for everybody who let me know about my complaint about my tax issues yesterday. I got just a deluge of people telling me about an exemption that exists for the capital gains, and that is true. There's a one-time exemption if you lived in the house for 2 years. It doesn't. It only covers a portion of it. For the first time in my life, we actually bought low and sold high.
Let's go.
Actually got a significant. We're going to have a significant payoff from this. Finally.
Party at Pat's house.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So that means big barbecue. Everybody's invited to a new home.
That's right.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
How do I?
If there's a road between you guys and the new house, I don't know yet.
Oh,
I haven't.
You haven't checked the routes?
No,
if there's roads?
I haven't. Well, there's a road here, but I don't know if it leads to your places. You know, I'll look into it. I'll look into it. There's no streets either. No sidewalks.
Not even a walking path or something?
I don't know. Let me look into it. I don't want anything bad to happen to you on the way.
I'll wear a reflective bell and everything. It's okay.
Trust me, Chris. He will never find such a path for you.
So not only is there all of this tax stuff, with the capital gains that I got to deal with, I found out more incredible news.
Oh, no.
Yesterday, nobody mentioned this to us when we bought the house, but apparently the HOA, upon sale, I've never heard of this before, gets 1% of the sale price when we close. It's either the HOA or the builder. I've never heard of that before. Nobody said that to us. Nobody mentioned it. It must be in the very, very tiny fine print.
Holy crap.
But we are confused whether it goes to the HOA or the builder, but supposedly that's an unavoidable fee that we can do nothing about.
Holy crap.
Is that incredible? Have you ever heard of that?
No.
I've never heard of that.
No, you're going to see me on the news if that's my age.
Oh,
so not only
just pissed.
Paying every month, once you sell it, they're like, hey, give me my
cut. And only do we pay a yearly fee at the beginning. They want it all up front.
Oh, they do want it up front.
At the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Yeah. And we paid that.
For 12 years?
For 12 years.
And then now they're still sticking it to you.
And now they want another 1% at the end of it.
But it's not like the house is not sold. Like, those people are going to give you their HOA fees.
Yes, right.
So
the new people have to pay the fees.
Yeah, you're not losing anything, bro.
Right. They just want to gain a lot more.
Wow.
So good for them. What a nice racket that is.
Oh, that's criminal.
It is. I don't know how it's legal. I really don't. I'm going to look into it.
I want to say very bad words.
I know. I did too last night.
On your behalf.
I did too.
So you just found out last night?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So it's still fresh.
Yeah. It is very fresh in my mind. And it really pisses me off.
Where are my covenants? I got to go find my I swear they haven't updated them since, 1983 or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's the, what are they, like rules and covenants thing?
Yeah. Look into that.
I've got it. I know where it is.
Man. I mean, we finally make a decent investment, that pays off. And now everybody just has their hand in our cookie jar, and they're all taking it. That pisses me off. And, I depleted so much of what we did have already on the kitchen, doing the business and the stupid other investments. This was just a great way to get it back. And now they're trying to take it all from me. I hate it. Pisses me off. Boy. Anyway, got some tweets here from Hoots. Biden has been in office for longer than I've been alive, and he still needs time to fix this country. Maybe it's time for him to take a seat and give someone else a chance. Mm-hmm. Good thought there. The Banana Republic of America. Why did they not make Air Force One up to ADA compliance before Biden came into office? That would have been good. Yeah. That they need that little chair, that little lift that goes up the rail. Yep. That's what they need. And then you just sit down in it, and it takes you up the stairs. The P and Poshy. I hope those grocery store workers are showing Biden how everything in that store has doubled in price since he took office. Oh, man. I hope they did. Kara 3022. Another day, and still not one mention or photo of the shooter's gun. Questions. Do we know if the bullet casings match the 50 rounds he bought? And do they match the gun?
Yeah, I want to know.
Good question.
The bullets that impacted those around Trump's ear, all the stuff that hit the hydraulic thing that was in the bleachers. I want to know that every one of those bullets matches the ballistics that go with the gun. But we haven't even, that's a great point. Normally we know immediately, look at this weapon. Let's ban this assault-style weapon. We haven't heard any of that.
It's an active investigation, Keith. I just want to
they can't comment.
They can't comment.
I just can't take this lie after lie after lie and cover up after cover up after cover up.
They're not saying anything about the further away counter snipers, though.
No,
are they? They're not. They haven't admitted to that, have they? That the actual kill shot to the would-be assassin came from somewhere else. That's just the Blaze report?
That's just the Blaze report.
We have a very, very good source about where
really
snipers were
positioned.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Steve Baker, you got to check out that article over at theblaze.com. It is very enlightening.
And who's the source? The Dan Bongino?
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to divulge anything.
Okay.
No, I'm saying that Steve Baker, you can ask him what his sources are next week when he's here on Friday morning. But I will say that you had someone that was 448 yards away.
That's a long way. Yeah, you multiply that by 3. You're over 1,200 feet away. That's a good shot.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, that's a good shot. All right, 888-900-3393. Got J.D. Vance from last night, too. He was really good. At the convention, the running mate of Donald Trump out speaking. Man, are they after him? Jeez. Oh, they've dredged up everything he's ever said that comes anywhere near being negative to Trump. And they're just pounding him with it. More coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
I love this Politico story. The headline was, Trump is shot with a gun. Republicans still say guns aren't the problem.
Wow, sounds like principle to me.
Yeah, doesn't it, though?
Yep.
How hypocritical would it be if we said, oh, yeah, okay, you're right. Because it's our guy. Yeah, you need to get rid of the guns. I mean, it's asinine. Of course, the gun isn't the problem. It's like car accidents kill tens of thousands of Americans every year. Should we ban cars or teach people to drive better? And if you're drunk, don't get behind the wheel of a car. Is it the car's fault? Lots of us get fat from eating too much. Should we ban forks? How do you not understand this common sense theme that it isn't the gun? It's the people using it. The gun itself is just going to lay there and not going to hurt anybody. It's when somebody who's disturbed, like this kid was, picks it up and uses it in the wrong way. So you're going to take 330 million guns away from Americans? I mean, it's anywhere between 3 and 400 million guns in this country. How many of them are actually used in an inappropriate or bad way? Very few. When you consider the enormity of how many guns there are in this country, it's incredible. I mean, just in Texas, you would be blown away. Maybe a bad choice of words, perhaps, but could have chosen something better than that.
Look, it happens.
You know. But speaking of the way we speak and phrasing things, you only have to worry about that if you're conservative. If you're on the left, you can say whatever you want and get away with it. Did you see that Tenacious D quote at their concert in Sydney, Australia?
Yeah.
That's Jack Black's band. His bandmate Kyle Gass was asked to make a wish. I guess they were on stage, and it was his 64th birthday Sunday. And so before blowing out the candle, he said, Here was his birthday wish. Don't miss Trump next time. Oh, okay. Wow.
Boy, the fallout was swift after that, too.
Oh, man. But if this was anybody on the right saying that about anybody on the left, they'd be done. They'd be canceled. They'd be out completely.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Black canceled himself, basically.
In what way? What did he do?
They have... Jack Black has stated that they have stopped any endeavor. Like, what was it? What was the phrasing that he used? We had the statement
with the
other
band.
day. Yeah, like
they stopped touring.
Oh yeah, they've stopped touring.
Did they
any
really?
kind of? Oh yeah, he's
wow.
very contrite, and so has been Gas on this.
Okay,
and they have.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, the partnership is no longer a thing.
So the partnership is done too.
The
right?
partnership is
really.
done. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, this was.
So there actually were.
This unraveled very quickly.
Very quickly.
Repercussions.
Oh yes.
For them.
All from someone in the audience recording the video that we can't show you.
Well, yeah, because we'd get sued.
Yeah.
And we'd be canceled.
I mean, you just have
we don't want that.
You'll just have to imagine.
Yeah. Okay. I'm imagining it right now.
Jack Black. See, here's the stage.
Oh, okay. There's Jack.
He's there.
Yeah, there he is.
Here's this giant robot holding a birthday cake.
Okay.
And here's what's his name, Kevin?
Did they have a giant robot holding the cake?
Giant robot.
Oh, that's cool.
And
kind of like we have out here in the hallway.
And then he says the terrible phrase, and then now it's now they're done.
That's a beautiful.
Keith.
That's not the actual video from
ask
it.
That. Can you please make sure you say that's an artist rendering?
Artist rendition at the bottom, they know not to sue us. That's just an artist rendition.
Does that look just like Jack Black?
Wow, it does.
Tenacious D.
Yeah.
And Gas.
Might be a tad less hairy than Jack Black is right now.
But it's difficult.
I'll even sign this work of art.
You need he needs the beard. Otherwise, I would have actually thought it was the actual video.
That's my bad.
There you go. Yeah.
There it is.
Oh wait, hold on. Here's the candle.
Well, that's good. I like Jack Black.
Yeah,
he's fun. But
no, they were
good for him.
They were way out in front. Well, I wouldn't say out in front, but they were very quick to
fix the issue.
Yeah, but
good for them.
But now they're done.
Good.
Yeah, but they're done.
Done.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, this gives them the opportunity, maybe down the road, once people have forgotten, to bring it back together. I don't know. I don't know how successful Tenacious D was. I'm probably not as up on my Tenacious D music as I should be.
Well, if you're inviting, Jack Black and Gas to, perform with you on all this tour, you got to be making it, right?
Yeah, you do. You would think so. But, all right. Well, good. Speaking of the GOP convention, as we were a while ago, and are getting back to that now, we still haven't gotten to the J.D. Vance speech last night. Should play a little snippet from that because he was pretty good.
Now, thanks to these policies that Biden and other out-of-touch politicians in Washington gave us, our country was flooded with cheap Chinese goods, with cheap foreign labor, and in the decades to come, deadly Chinese fentanyl. Joe Biden screwed up, and my community paid the price. Now, I was lucky. Despite the closing factories and the growing addiction in towns like mine, in my life, I had a guardian angel by my side. She was an old woman who could barely walk, but she was tough as nails. I called her Mamaw, the name we hillbillies gave to our grandmothers. Mamaw raised me as Mamaw raised me as my mother struggled with addiction. Mamaw was in so many ways a woman of contradiction. She loved the Lord, ladies and gentlemen. She was a woman of very deep Christian faith. But she also loved the F word.
Who among us?
I'm not kidding. She could make a sailor blush. Now, she once told me, when she found out that I was spending too much time with a local kid who was known for dealing drugs, that if I ever hung out with that kid again, she would run him over with her car. That's true. And she said, JD, no one will ever find out about it.
And then they get to a chant of, Mamaw, Mamaw. That was a good speech, man. It really was.
That's good.
It was, and I thought it was very effective when he went through his life and he was able to not only talk about his life, but illustrate the half century that Joe Biden has been in Washington, D.C., and all of the bad policies that Joe was a part of at these milestones. When I was in the 4th grade, Joe signed on to this, and, that was bad for America. It was very effective, yeah.
Really good. Also, Hillbilly Elegy is number 1 again. It's at the top of the chart because, everybody's rediscovering it because of him. It came out in what, 2015, 2016? Somewhere in there.
Oh, more recently than that, right? Because it was right on the eve of his Senate run. Am I wrong on that?
I think it was a little before the Senate run. When did he run for Senate? Was it 2022?
Yeah.
I think. So, yeah, I think it's before that a little bit. Still, I mean...
2020. I'm looking. I just want to know now. I don't know. Sorry.
Chris, when did the book come out? Hillbilly Elegy. You looking? All right.
2020 for the movie, so the book probably did come out 2016. Yeah. And
the movie had pretty big stars in it.
It
right?
had Glenn Close.
Yeah.
It had Amy Adams.
And I think it's on. Yeah, it was 2016.
Ron Howard directed it.
Right. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
So I've never seen it.
It's on Netflix, right?
It is on Netflix.
Yeah, I want to watch it this weekend.
Yeah. Be interesting. Check that out. This is concerning. It's being reported that our armed forces are being trained to look at pro-lifers.
Yeah,
I don't know if terrorists.
I don't know if we still have that slide. We've had so much in the stack that obviously has been,
pushed aside
because of breaking news. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it was. What was this? I forgot where this was.
Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg.
Fort Liberty. It used to be Bragg.
And it was a slide. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So they had an anti-terrorism brief held there, where they listed several pro-life organizations as, quote, terrorist organizations, unquote.
That's a problem.
Wow. That followed a slide about ISIS, of course. The organizations labeled by the Army as terror organizations include the National Right to Life and Operation Rescue.
Did y'all catch that? National Right to Life?
Oh, my
Thanks
gosh.
for finding that, Joe. In the same breath as ISIS.
Jeez.
And that's what they are training our soldiers on.
That's incredible.
This is insane.
Goes on to mention activities.
Hold on, look, they misspelled Roe versus Wade.
Oh, man.
Okay. All right, who's making these slideshows? Come on, get some Marxists that can spell. Anyway.
They go on to mention activities which these organizations participate that include being pro-life, opposing Roe v. Wade, demonstrating and protesting a la First Amendment protected rights, truth displays, and picketing. They also falsely attribute the bombing of abortion clinics to National Right to Life. And by the way, when was the last bombing of an abortion clinic? I get so tired of hearing about abortion clinic bombings. Is there a rash of them that I'm not hearing about lately that I've just ignored? Because I want to know about it if I have.
Trust me.
Oh,
you
man.
would know.
Right?
If there was a firecracker outside of an abortion clinic.
Well, we know when people are praying and singing outside of them. Of course we would know if they've been bombed. It's just so insane. These narratives that they push are so agonizing. It's like I've been asking for days to get a list of the supposed Trump lies during the debate that Joe Biden keeps excusing himself over. Why don't you ask about his lies? Ask about the over 30 lies he told. Okay, what? What lies did he tell? So yesterday I did some research into it, and this is what the AP came up with. The falsehoods included his assertion that some Democrat-led states allow babies to be executed after birth. Okay, that comes from the story of and he keeps referencing him, the former Virginia governor, who said, it was something about after the baby's born, he wanted to have a bill where you didn't necessarily have to take care of the baby. Okay, that was the afterbirth thing he's been talking about. Now, that's not legal in the state. It didn't pass in Virginia, but he's referenced that multiple times. It's a little off the way he tells it. But, it's Donald Trump using hyperbole. Every legal scholar and everybody in general wanted Roe v. Wade overturned. Okay, I mean, both sides are guilty of everybody wants this or that. There were no terror attacks during his presidency. That's what he claimed. Now, I don't know if he meant in the United States. Were there terror attacks that I don't remember under Donald Trump in the United States of America?
You're probably asking the wrong person, bro. October 1st, 2017, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay, well, yeah, you could consider that domestic terror, I suppose.
Or it could actually be, our own government, or maybe a terror group, or who knows, maybe there's a combination. But I don't think Donald Trump had anything to do with that.
No. That Iran didn't fund terror groups during his presidency. So that's supposedly a lie. The U.S. has provided more aid to Ukraine than Europe has. Is that not? I wouldn't be surprised if that actually was true. You're not counting all of the aid we've provided, I think, if you're calling that a lie. That Biden for years referred to black people as super predators. Actually, the Hillary Clinton was the one who promoted the super predator thing. Right. But Biden supported that bill in the 90s, and he's the one who spoke about it.
His own vice president in a debate put him on the spot for being a racist and associated with racists.
That's right. Biden is planning to quadruple people's taxes. I don't know about quadruple. He is planning to raise taxes. Again, it's a bit of hyperbole. It's a bit exaggerated, but he is going to raise taxes on everybody because he wants to repeal or let expire the Trump tax cuts that he claims are only for the rich, but they're not. Everybody got a tax cut. So if you let that tax cut expire, everybody will get a tax increase. He also apparently said that then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi turned down 10,000 National Guard troops. This is it's kind of true because it is not Nancy Pelosi who would deploy the National Guard troops. Let's see. Americans don't pay the cost of tariffs on China and other countries. He's a big tariff guy, and he believes strongly in tariffs. That might be a tad misleading because, I think the cost is passed along to us.
Yeah, I only the last couple of days discovered the chicken tax that has been in place.
The chicken tax?
Yeah, since LBJ back in 1964. I guess American chickens were outselling European chickens over there, so there became a little tariff war with Europe, and this archaic element from that continues to hang on today, which makes it so that we can't buy light-duty trucks in America from overseas without a 25% tariff being slapped on it. That's why we don't have Mitsubishi pickup trucks or Isuzu pickup trucks and all that good stuff. Like the Honda and Toyotas, they're made here.
Yeah.
So you can't import those. Can we lose that tariff? The chicken tax.
Wow. Yeah.
LBJ.
Okay.
Look it up.
And the other one that kind of bugs me is that he supposedly lied that fraud marred the results of the 2020 election. Are you telling me there was no fraud in the 2020 election?
Elizabeth, this is a big one. That's not a lie.
Yeah, you're telling me there was no fraud whatsoever. Okay. All right.
Come on, y'all.
I mean, that is their big talking point, though. That's a total and complete lie.
But now, if it's an election they don't like, it's all sorts of fraud.
Oh, my gosh, yes. Absolutely. Russian collusion, all of that kind of stuff. How many times did they lie about that? And the AP also said that Trump talking about a relatively small number of people that went to the Capitol and in many cases were ushered in by the police. The facts, according to the AP, that's false. The attack on the U.S. Capitol was the deadliest assault on the seat of American power in over 200 years. What?
Okay.
No one died from the riot, except 2 people in the pro-Trump crowd. The only people who died, one was shot by Capitol Police, the other was trampled by police and beaten and killed. No one guarding the Capitol died. No one. Also, it was a relatively small number of people who got violent. Out of the what? Were there 300,000 people? Maybe a few hundred got violent. It was under 1% of the people that were gathered there.
Yeah, and that
less than 1%.
After they were effectively attacked, I'd like to point out. The people that busted through the windows were all dressed in black and clearly associated with Antifa, if you ask me. The people that were violent out in front, it was only after you were literally lobbing tear gas and rubber bullets into their cheeks.
And we've seen the video of it. You can't lie about that. We've seen the video proof of them doing just that.
Instigation.
They also claim that Trump saying that they were actually let in by police and were essentially tour guides is a lie. Well, they've called it outrageous and false. It's fine to do that, except that we've seen the video proof of that happening too, when the police let the crowd in. In many cases, they just opened the doors and let the crowd in and followed them around, accompanied them. I don't know if they acted as tour guides, but they certainly accompanied them. Certain groups of the crowd were accompanied by police. We've seen the video on this stuff. These are not lies. Not lying about that. It's agonizing. Now, the whole taxation situation is ridiculous because it's not a lie. It is an exaggeration. I don't know if Biden is going to increase taxes 4 times on us by a factor of 4, but he certainly is going to raise taxes if he's reelected. There's no doubt about that. He loves to talk about that. He has no problem promising that he can't wait to let the Trump tax cut expire. And then they address the insulin thing. Biden, they actually attribute this to Joe Biden. It's $15 for an insulin shot as opposed to $400, is what Biden said. The facts, according to AP, that's not exactly right. Out-of-pocket insulin costs for older Americans on Medicare were capped at $35 in the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act. Right, but that was after Trump had already done that, and Biden undid it. Mm-hmm. Then he put it back with the Inflation Reduction Act to $35 again. Biden regularly overstates that many people used to pay up to $400 a month for insulin. People with diabetes who have Medicare or private insurance paid about $450 yearly prior to the law. So he exaggerated or lied about that. On climate change, they call this a lie. Trump touted his environmental record, said that during my 4 years, I had the best environmental numbers ever, and that he supports immaculate air and water. I mean, what does that really mean? The facts, that's far from the whole story. During his presidency, Trump rolled back some provisions of the Clean Water Act, eased regulations on coal, oil, and gas companies, and pulled the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Accord. Yeah, brilliant stuff. When wildfires struck California in 2020, Trump dismissed the scientific consensus that climate change played a role. Because there is no climate consensus on wildfires. They've always happened. They're happening now. They're not more prevalent than they've ever been. Trump also dismissed scientists' warning about climate change and routinely proposed deep cuts to the EPA. Those reductions were blocked by Democrat and Republican lawmakers. Now, see, you're calling lies to his policies here that they're claiming is scientific fact, but it's not. This is not scientific fact. This is your perception from the scientists that you listen to the most. There are other scientists who back up Trump, and there's a lot of them. There's tens of thousands of them, and they've signed a petition trying to say, hey, we're out here too. They won't listen to us, but we're out here too. And we're saying the exact opposite, that this is not man-caused. Has it warmed? Yes. But that always happens on this planet. We go in cycles. Just as it's warming right now, there will be a time that comes around when it starts to cool again. And then they'll start screaming about that we're headed for a mini ice age. Ugh, man, it's agonizing. But on and on this goes. It is mostly perception. And because, they lean left, the perception of these fact checkers backs up what Biden keeps saying. But he did not lie 30 times. That's garbage. I can't wait till... If he makes it to the next debate, I can't wait to see him perform again. It will be phenomenal to watch.
Is that scheduled yet?
Yeah, it's September 10th, right?
September 10th, yeah.
Okay. And did you see that there was a great press release released by the Trump campaign yesterday saying, we don't know when to schedule the J.D. Vance VP debate because we don't know who your VP is going to be.
For Kamala Harris.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.